What's going on, guys? I'm in Advantage and welcome back to another NHL 22 HUT video. In today's video, we're going to be diving into the new fantasy evolution cards that just came out in NHL 22, and we're going to be giving you all the information that you need to know in order to acquire these cards and also which ones you should go after. The first thing to note is that these cards will upgrade throughout the year, hence the evolution name. You'll get a +1 overall for every goal scored by any of these players that are a forward. You get +2 overall for every goal scored to any of these players that are a defenseman. And then you'll get +1 overall for every win or shutout for any of the goalies. Another thing to note is that there is a customizable synergy slot that's going to be added once these cards reach a 95 overall. Obviously, the maximum you can get is a 99 overall, and only regular season NHL or of course other league games will count towards this. The three master set items that we are currently aware of are Sorokin, Pionk, and Matt Duchene. Matt Duchene happens to be one of my favorite HUT cards of all time, so love to see that he has one of these. I think he's going to be a fantastic card if he's not already fantastic and what his current stats are. And we'll get into that in just a minute. And then also, here are the players that are currently available right now. So currently there's 20 players that are available in this. Of course, there will be more as time goes on throughout this set, that there will be more players that get these fantasy cards that will come out later. So we're gonna see first the master items. So up first is Neil Pionk again. You can either do buzzing or bombarded. Buzzing is actually going to increase his speed, so I really like this card. He also has gladiator or protector. At 5'11", 186, he's a little small, but he does have the superstar ability of bouncer, which is advanced at battles around the net. I've talked about this one in previous videos in reviewing cards. This is one of my favorite superstar abilities, especially for somebody like Neil, who's probably gonna need this, and I think it will actually help make this card tremendous. It's already pretty solid. He's an 87 overall right now, acceleration and speed at 89 respectively. Shot across the board and power is a 90, and accuracy it's already high 80s. His hands are almost 90 across the board, just about. And defensive awareness is an 89 and stick checking is an 88. So this is a solid card. Keep in mind, as we mentioned earlier, you get +2 overall for every goal that he has. So hypothetically, he has a 1-goal game, all of a sudden he's an 89. So if you have ESPN Plus like me, and you're probably gonna be watching a lot of games of these players that you decide to pick up, but overall, this is 1,000,000% one of the cards that I will be targeting. Up next on our master item list is Matt Duchene. Guys, I love this card. Oh my gosh, like if you're gonna get one of these cards, please get this one. Just do yourself a favor. It's unbelievable. He either has booming shot or protector you can put on, as well as thief or heart and soul. I would acquire thief for a multitude of reasons. First off, I'd love to have Duchene at center. Of course, you can put him on the wing with his speed. He's unbelievably fast, but just look at this card and how good it is right now. 91 excel, 92 speed, and it hasn't even evolved to anything yet. Like, it's unbelievable. Duchene typically puts up quite a few goals throughout the season. His defensive awareness is a 91. Faceoffs are an 87, which I like. Tape to tape for only 3 ability points, much just like the Giroux that we saw recently in the Halloween set. I like the superstar ability for him, especially if you do have him at center. I don't love wheels as a zone ability, but I can just imagine on Duchene that it is unbelievably broken. And we're gonna test that out here hopefully soon once we get this card. But overall, I love this card. Please, please, please make this your #1 choice in the master sets, at least from what we've seen so far. And then lastly, between the pipes, we have Sorokin. So I do like the fact that he either has distributor or wingman you can put on, as well as light the lamp or thief. Again, these are all synergies that I have activated on my team right now. I don't love his size at 6'2", 176. I think tip jar is interesting, advanced save ability, reaction time, and recovery on deflections. And then he has no timer, which is exceptional save ability and reaction time when facing one-timers. I don't love these superstar zone abilities on a goalie, especially for how much they cost. In my opinion, it's just simply not worth it until they upgrade the level of what we can use for these X factors. But overall, I would say probably not a bad card to target. I just wouldn't go out of your way to do it. I would either pick up Pionk or Duchene first. To start the list of the cards that are out right now, we have Morgan Riley. You can either put on Bombarded or Spark, which is going to make him even quicker if you decide to put on Spark. I probably would like this with Bombarded at 6'1", 219. He's actually a pretty good sized defenseman back there, especially left-handed D. And again, you get +2 overall for a defenseman. So keep that in mind. He's already an 84. He doesn't need that many goals. in order to actually make this card one of the best in the game, especially at left-handed defense, where the game right now, there's not a whole lot of great options out there for you. So 88 acceleration, 88 speed. This card's already really solid before it gets any upgrades. I do like the fact that his superstar ability is Send It, which is increased pass assist with the advanced ability to auto-sauce your long passes. Definitely worth throwing that on for only 2 ability points. I love this card. Up next on defense, we also have Sergachev at 6'3", 216, another left-handed defenseman. He's a little bit slower, so I probably activate Wingman for him. He also has Thunderclap on as his superstar ability, which is the advanced power when taking slap shots from the point. Overall, not a bad card. I would probably prefer Morgan Riley before I would go after Sergachev. But again, these cards can change on the flip of a dime. If you get +2 overall per goal scored, like, he could easily blow up extremely quick. So I would say, again, not a bad card to target, but I would probably target Riley first. Up next from the Calgary Flames, we have Andrew Magiapane, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. I could be wrong on that. But he does have Gladiator and Well-Rounded active, as well as one of my favorite superstar abilities, which is Close Quarters. Again, that's advanced accuracy when you're taking wrist or snapshots in close proximity to the net. Just so happens to be one of the meta goals this year. So in my opinion, that is fantastic that he has that on there. I love his speed. I actually like this shot. I mean, I really believe that this is a card that can get some good upgrades. Of course, just depends on how he plays, but the Flames seem to be steamrolling right now, so I would say not a bad pickup. Up next from the Montreal Canadiens, we have Alexander Romanov. You can either put on Magician or Bombarded. Also, he has 1T for only 5 ability points. May not be terrible, but you know, for a defenseman, I actually think it could be decent. I haven't seen it hardly on any defenseman. I think this is actually the first defenseman that I've seen on in a card. Typically, it's just been forwards, so that actually could be pretty OP. Again, depends on how he plays throughout the season, but overall, maybe not a bad pickup. Okay, I love this card, guys. First off, 6'4", 207, right-handed defenseman. You gotta put on Magician or Bombarded. I would probably put on Bombarded, but again, it doesn't let you change it when you view the card like this. They still need to change that on EA. What the heck? We need to get to that at some point, but long story short, let's look at this card. Defensive awareness, 83, stick checking, 83. To begin with, guys, to begin with. He's only 82 overall right now. Superstar ability is unbelievable. Quick pick, advanced at intercepting pucks, also increases a player's range when intercepting pucks. Like, yes, put that on every defenseman if you can, if they have it available. This is one of the better cards out there, in my opinion. Up next from the Maple Leafs, we have Michael Bunting at 5'11", 196. Not a bad card. I think that his superstar ability is okay. Crease Crasher, I don't really love it. Advanced ability at corralling, bouncing pucks off of rebounds, which I believe are already OP this year to begin with, so you probably don't necessarily need to activate that. But again, I'm kind of surprised they gave it to Bunting for the Maple Leafs, but hey, you never know. Could turn out to be a great card. Up next from the Arizona Coyotes, we have my boy Phil the Thrill. I love Kessel, and I love this card. He has Spark, which makes his acceleration up to an 88, speed already at 86, and only an 81 overall card. Like, Phil is a pure goal scorer, so this card could easily be a 90 if Phil just gets hot. He's already an 81. I don't know. I mean, I think this card's gonna be fantastic. He does have Make It Snappy, and I kind of like that too. Guys, this is probably one of the ones, in my opinion, one of the better cards that you can get this week. Up next, we have Petri Contiala, I believe. I don't know who this guy is, I'll be honest. I really don't. But could be a good card, you know? You never know. I mean, it's another league, so, I mean, he can go off. He can go off. 6', 198 center, sure. I mean, seems like a good card. He has Distributor, Fly the Zone, which he definitely needs it. I don't think you'd play with him right now because his speed is so low, but you never know. He could pop off. I hope Petri does. You never know. Could be a good investment. Up next, though, from the Florida Panthers, we have Anton Lundell. He either has Wingman or Buzzing, which he certainly needs it. A little bit slow, but at 6'1", 190, again, not a bad center. I do like the fact that he has Quick Draw, advanced quickness on face-off draws, and increased effectiveness on tied wins. Great at defensive zone draw. So we talked about that one before. Could be great on a PK or really any time at center, in my opinion. But you never know. This could be a good card as well. Again, it's a lot of speculation with these. And if you can invest in these early in the market before this player pops off and you get them tradable, could be a great way to flip it. But again, you're taking a risk. You never know, that same player that could pop off could just as easily get injured and be out for the season. So that's what makes these cards so exciting. Up next from the Nashville Predators, Philip Tomasino, I believe is how you say his name. He either has Buzzing or Booming Shot. And he also has Unstoppable Force, which I actually really like. Advanced strength with the puck and increased ability to hold onto the puck when off balance. Pretty good card already. I mean, 86 speed, 85 acceleration, only an 81 overall. And again, as we said before, it's somewhat difficult to judge these cards as they stand, because it's really simply up to speculation, but I do like this card. I think this is also one of the better ones for this week. Up next from the Seattle Kraken, we have Jared McCann. I do miss him playing in Pittsburgh, and this card, in my opinion, as long as he doesn't get injured, knock on wood, is a no doubt no-brainer for McCann. Definitely one of the top 3 cards out this week, in my opinion. I know he's only an 80 overall right now, but he easily, again, kind of like Kessel, could get really hot really quick. In Seattle, they need all the help they can get in scoring, so I think Jared McCann is a great investment, especially early on. I don't really love Heat Seeker. Advanced power taking risks or snapshots from a distance doesn't really make sense for a center. Overall, I think the card's awesome. Up next from the Montreal Canadiens, we have Jeff Petrie. He either has Magician or Bombarded. I'd probably throw Bombarded on there if I'm you. And he also has 1T. Again, I love to see that they actually put this on defenseman now. It makes a heck of a lot more sense. And in my opinion, at least the way I play, it suits my play style a lot better. At 6'3", 208, he's a great big body back there as well. Again, probably not a card that would get into your lineup right now at only 79 overall. I don't know how many goals he's gonna get throughout the season. So it's really, again, it's tough to say. I wish he was ranked a little bit higher, but you never know. Out of the cards that are out this week, Tarasenko also makes my top 3. He is hot this year. He is hot. Whether you like it or not, Tarasenko is on fire. He had a great game the other night. He's continuing to play well, and he's continuing to score a lot of goals. In addition to that, he has Make It Snappy. Advanced accuracy when taking snapshots while skating, which again, in my opinion, that's probably how he's gonna score a lot of goals for you as he's on wing. So he has Gladiator, Booming Shot. Again, you can tweak that if he gets to 95 overall. But again, this card, I believe, can pop off very quickly. He's already a pretty decent card at 79 overall. Again, it's probably not something that makes your lineup right now, today, but you never know. In a week or two, you may be able to slot into most lineups. So in my opinion, a great investment in Tarasenko. Up next from the Vegas Golden Knights is Robin Lehner. I love this card. I don't love the synergies at Buzzing and Workhorse. I think they're good speed ones, but they're just not the ones I currently have activated. His superstar ability is Sponge, advanced at making redirect controlled saves and more likely to attempt to cover the puck, which is interesting. Probably wouldn't activate it. But at 6'4", 240, yeah, and he gets a lot of playing time out there in Vegas. I think this is also a fantastic card to invest in early on. Up next is Oliver Bjorkstrand. He either has Gladiator or Applesauce. He also does have Make It Snappy. Again, it's tough to say with this card. I just hate that he's only 77 overall right now. Again, pretty good speed though, 86 acceleration and speed. Shots actually halfway decent. Not gonna make it into your lineup today, but very easily could later on. It's just, I wish he was a little bit higher than 77 overall. Burakovsky also 6'3", 201, has Magician or Protector. He does have Big Rig, which I do like, especially to complement his size at 6'3", 201. Makes this card actually pretty solid. As long as he can put up some more goals, I think this is a great card to invest in as well. And finally, from the Winnipeg Jets, we have Ehlers. So he either has Gladiator or Magician as well. He also has Ankle Breaker. I don't love it. Advanced ability to deke opponents out at top speed. It's only 85 right now at acceleration and speed. He could pop off. I just don't see him. I mean, he's at 75 overall now. He needs to get 24 goals. Man, I wish he was an 80. If he was an 80 overall, I'd be all over this card. But right now at 75 overall, I just don't see it making your lineup for at least a couple months. And at that point, it's just not really worth it. So let's take a look at how you acquire these cards. The sets right now, of course, are master set items we already are well aware of. First off, to look at Duchesne, you need a handful of 84s and 83 overalls. I still need quite a few more to fill this out. Also, a lot of 85s and 86s. So to top it off, this is gonna be pretty tough. I mean, you need 3 87 overalls to get this. It's not gonna be a cheap set by any means. These are almost guaranteed 99 overall cards in my opinion. They could certainly be worth it. I think this set is interesting. Random Fantasy Hockey Prospects Week 1 player set. So you get a random player, but all you have to do is trade in 80 overall players, and then lastly, a collectible, which you can get either by completing the challenges or also the milestones. I think this is actually an interesting one. Again, you're not going to get any of the master item sets. You're going to get one of the weak ones. So you're not going to get any of these 3 gentlemen that we see to our left, but that's not a bad set. I would definitely not do this set. You get basically the same thing that you would get from here. So you either get a week 1 player, But you get your choice of 3 different players, but look what you have to trade in. All these 83s, a ton of 84s, and 85s, 86s, and lastly an 87. Like, please don't do this set. You're doing yourself a huge disservice at that. This is actually interesting, and it's only available for less than 2 days at this point. But you get a random 83 to 87 overall player simply by trading in gold players. I think it's very unique. I mean, hey, you never know. You might be able to pull somebody like McKinnon, right? He's an 87 overall. Crosby's an 87 overall. So, I mean, you never know. That actually could be a pretty decent set, and I believe that these are unlimited. So, you know, probably not a bad idea to go ahead and do it. The packs right now, there's a couple different ones that you can do. You can do the Fantasy Hockey Evo Starter Pack. So again, it's not guaranteed. The only one that is guaranteed to get an evolution player is this one right here. So you get 12 items, including a Fantasy Hockey Prospect player from November 5th to November 12th. Again, that's this week. And 5 guaranteed gold player items. So we're gonna buy one and we're gonna see who we get. Jersey number 3, jersey number 12, Peyton Krebs, McGregor, a goalie mask. My boy Isaac MacArthur holding down the fort, and somebody's just revving their engine outside because they are revved up to see who we're gonna get. I hope it's somebody good. Ooh, okay, it's Romanov. I actually don't hate that. You know, we talked about it earlier. He does have the 1T ability on here. I just don't know how many goals he's gonna get throughout the season, but at 6 foot, 208, left-handed D-man, he's not gonna make my lineup today, but hey, you never know. He could pop off, get a couple goals for me, and maybe make the lineup soon. That's it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked the video, make sure you go ahead and smash that like button. And if you love NHL 22 content, would love to have you stick around, make sure you click subscribe. Again, I'm Man Advantage, and I'll see you guys next time.